Hey folks, welcome to what we call full spring here in Nebraska. 63 degrees towards the end of February. Very uncommon, very unseasonable warm weather. But we're going to take the opportunity to get out and do some stuff here outside. One of the things we need to get done is the driveway. The driveway over the winter gets a little tore up with ruts when it gets muddy and stuff like that. And the gravel gets disrupted, and so we need to get the tractor out and fix up the driveway first thing. We got some other stuff we need to do first. But got to get the tractor out and get this done. Apologize for the wind. Now, it's Johnny today. See if we got any fuel. Yeah, we got plenty to do this. Let's get fired up. You can probably see all the little ruts here that we're talking about. We need to smooth all this out. It's nice and dry. The guineas are saying hello to y'all. So we got Johnny out for this project. I'm going to show you the setup just a little bit. We're going to use the box blade because we want to drag a little bit of gravel around with us to fill in the low spots. But there's a setup that works well for this. What we did is we extended the top link a little bit, so when the bucket is down, it's tilted back just a little bit, and that what makes that the bucket do is rides on this rear blade just a little bit, and it puts this front blade like barely skimming the ground, so it keeps it at an even keel. If you were to tilt the bucket more forward, the front blade would dig a lot more, and we don't want to do a lot of digging. So this just acts kind of like a gauge to keep the bucket on top of the ground, and we'll show you what that looks like. Let's run the bucket down real quick. Right there, the front blade is just barely on top of the ground, and then the rear blade is riding on the ground as well. You can see the box blade is just tilted ever so slightly to the rear. So that's how you do that. Now, if you go in reverse in this configuration, your back blade's going to dig pretty aggressively. So if you're going to be back pushing something, you want to make sure you rotate back the other way so you're not digging so much with the rear. So that's the way that works. And then the other thing we do, we've got our bucket here on semi-flat ground, adjusted down in the position that we want. You come up here where your control is, you lift your little gauge thingy up here. I already had it set, but slide it right up against your control, and then that locks the downward travel of your control, so you can lift up your bucket and you can get back to the exact same position. Now, I also have an upper control that I added just with a wing nut and some washers and a carriage bolt, because sometimes when you're running PTO equipment, you don't want to raise your implement too far to where you're putting your PTO shaft in a bind. That's why I also created an upper stop. So what we'll do out here once we get going, we're just kind of go in concentric circles as we go along, and then we can move up and down the driveway, and then we'll flatten out the apron out there again. I'll probably do the little small piece of driveway over here first, and then that way when I do the rest, it'll kind of tie everything in. So let's get after it. Now that we've filled in all of the ruts out here on the driveway, you can see we have these little lines of gravel here. So to take care of that and to make our driveway look perfect, we have a drag here that we drag behind Kelly's four-wheeler, and that levels out all that gravel and redisperses it across the driveway. So we'll get that done real quick. Kind of the same process as the tractor. Well, driveway is all squared away now, nice and flat, smooth as a baby's bottom. So unless we get another crazy amount of moisture where we get mudded out, we'll be fine. Otherwise, we'll just do it again. Next project is somewhat of a honeydew. Kelly's chicken coop over here, I guess the roost bars on the roosting box, the nuts have come off and they're falling off all the time. So said she couldn't find any nuts to go on there, so I got to go check that out and see what it takes and fix that up for her. It looks like FedEx has been here. They figured out to drop this stuff by the chicken coop, which is cool, so Kelly doesn't have to carry it as far. Kelly's been ordering all of our chicken food and dog food online and getting a much better product, I guess. If you're interested in what she gets, because I don't know, get at her on the Facebook page and she can tell you, but I know she's really satisfied with the product she's been getting. Also, I wanted to mention the plastic with the wiggle wire we put here around this end of the coop. The guineas and the chickens have really loved that. Blocks the northern wind, which is really cold, and it keeps everything nice and dry in there. We even did a portion of the roof, so the chickens and the guineas have a little dry spot they can hang out in when it gets really wet. Actually, there's a bag of it, looks like, right inside the door here. So this is what she's been using. She really wasn't satisfied with the feed we were getting locally. I can understand from the big store, because you don't know how long that stuff sits or where it's coming from, but this supposedly has been a really good brand. She got recommended from somebody else that I believe has a YouTube channel. So it looks like this is the roost bar in question here. So looks like a 1/4 She probably didn't realize I got a bolt pin. So we'll go get some nylocks for these. That way they will not come off again. Alright, I was able to find 4 1/4" nylon locking nuts. Kelly would have never found them. They were in my stainless steel stash. So we'll go put these on. Alright, we got that all done, and Hershey's already trying it out. We got a little time to play chuck it with Ruby. We like to get as much energy as hers burn out as we can. That way she's not so restless in the evening. She gets a little tired out and wants to sleep. Brandy's not a big ball chaser. Got to drop it, Rubes. Drop. Drop. That's why I always carry a second one, because she never drops it. And then I can just grab the second one. Brandy, you want to try one? Oh, by Jove, she is going to chase one. Oh, Ruby got it first. Oh, she went and got the other one that Ruby dropped. Good job, Brandy. Clean up the mess. You going to drop it? Drop. Good girl. Ready to go long? You want to go long? How about that one? Way out there. Almost got it down the hill. Randy's over here rolling on her tennis ball. Did you get it, Ruby? Leave the guineas alone. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Good girl. Drop it. You gotta wait. It was flying out of the gate trying to grab it. Woohoo! Here we go. We're gonna go down the driveway. That girl is fast. Good girl, Ruby. You gotta watch when we throw it over by the guineas. Sometimes the guineas will chase it too. Oh, they didn't chase it this time. All right, you had enough? All right, we got to stop after about 8 or 10 times because Ruby doesn't know her limit. She would keep doing that until she fell over dead, I think. But if we do it too long, she starts panting really hard. Looks like she's having a heart attack. Getting a drink of water? Good water? Is that good water? Well, we're going to sit down in the grain bin and relax too. We only have about 30 minutes or so before we need to head into town. We got to meet Kelly in town. She's dropping off her truck to get serviced. And I think we're going to have some dinner while we're in town. Maybe some Chinese if I can talk her into it. Which doesn't take much talking. Chinese or Mexican, she's ready to go. So, thanks for hanging out with us here on the farm, getting a few things done on this absolutely gorgeous day. Makes me want to get out in the garden and start planting stuff, but I know better to do that in full spring. It'll get you every time. Stay safe, stay healthy, y'all. We love you. Come back and see us here on Markelly Farm.